what a spicy month July was.
Oh, damn, spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
I'm going to be doing our July wrap up. I have some physical books. I've also got my iPad to show all the books that I've read on Kindle Unlimited. I know I could use the Kindle, but it's just, no, this is easier. If you are new here, my name is Antonia. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I don't really know what to describe my content as. I do a couple of book videos, a couple of lifestyle, a couple of recommendations. I try and give you any advice that I can. So if that sounds like a bit up your street, honey bun, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. But anyway, today we are going to talk about, I read 8 books in July, which is the most I've read so far. I know that is not a lot. There's a lot of booktubers that I watch that read 7, 8 books in a week. But for me, Christmas Miracle Hunt, the heavens have opened. That's amazing. I did have a week off, which is why I got through so much. And then I kind of hit a slump and was reading like a chapter a night because the series that I'm reading is honestly draining my life and soul. But we're getting through it. I say this, but honestly, there's some books in it that I really enjoy. But anyway, we're going to start off with the month of the first book that we read. So starting off strong because I read Wild Love by Elsie Silver. It is the new, is it Rose Hill series that follows on from like the Chestnut Springs series. They are slightly interlinked, big fat lie, but I have not read The Off to the Races. Like, I haven't read, I think that's the first book, but I haven't read that series, which I'm devastated about. I will come to that. But this is the first one. Absolutely loved it. It was, who was it about? It was about Ford and Rosie, who kind of were like, Rosie is Ford's best friend's sister. It's kind of like a forbidden romance to an extent, and if you read the Chestnut Springs series, Willa, who's in the second book, is Ford's sister, so that's where they're kind of interlinked. It's really, really good. Really enjoyed the character development, in this, and I loved it. I personally rated it 5 stars, but I love Elsie Silver. Like, her romances are just absolutely unbelievable, and yeah, massive fan, so 100% would recommend this book. But this is the first hardback book that I've read in a very, very long time, and especially since getting the Kindle. Not gonna lie, really did not enjoy the reading experience, so this is like the top of like so many people's list of like saying how good the book is. I don't know whether it's because I tried to read it quick. Like, I think I read it in like, I say read it quick, people read books in a day, but I think I read like, did it take me just over a day, I think, to finish it, which, to be fair, considering it's 300 pages, I probably could have got it done in a day, but again, I was away, like I was doing other things. So this is, I know Wynne, and what's her name? So Harry and Wynne are the perfect couple. So it's basically where they have to pretend to be together, the fiancés, and then they break up, but they go on like a summer holiday with all the best friends. Turns out it's going to be the last time that they're on this trip, so it's like going into the stories of like each kind of one of the couples there and like the friendship. It was good. I only rated this 3 stars, and I'm so sorry to the Emily Henry fans, please don't come for me. I don't know whether it's because I didn't enjoy the way I read it, and maybe I would have enjoyed it more if I read it on the Kindle, which I know sounds silly, but it really did impact how I enjoyed reading. And I felt like I was trying to just get through it so I could get it gone. And maybe that was like, I didn't read it at the right time, because I know so many people have this as like a 6-star read. And I did enjoy parts of it, but just not enough for it to be a higher rating for myself. So, and that was the first Emily Henry book I've ever read. I would love to give it another chance, just not right now. Following on from Emily Henry, I then read A Good Girl's Guide to Maids by Holly Jackson. This is like a 6-star read to me, so completely opposite to the Emily Henry. I am in love with this book. I could not recommend this book more. I think it's absolutely amazing. I have bought the second book in the series on my Kindle ready to read, but it hasn't come from the TBR yet, so I'm hoping I might just have to read it anyway, because this book had me in a chokehold. Like, I read it within like a day. It was absolutely phenomenal. I was constantly guessing. I didn't like guess what the plot, well, not the plot, but like who, I didn't guess what was happening, which I absolutely loved. It just kept me guessing the whole way through until the very end, until like you find out what's happening, which is amazing. Gorgeous book. Like, please go read this book. Like, out of any book that I'm going to recommend in this one, this is the one. This one is not Kindle Unlimited, neither is the Emily Henry. The other one was the Wild Love. But you can buy this if you prefer the paperback edition. It is, I think, £5 on Amazon. And then Emily Henry is an offer at the minute on Kindle for 99 pence, which I actually then was going to buy, but I thought, what if I don't like it? But for 99 pence, it's not like terrible. Obviously the paperback, I think I paid £7 for the hardback, edition. But yeah, all the other books that I'm going to recommend are on Kindle Unlimited if you do have that and obviously prefer. I love Kindle Unlimited. I love reading off it because if you don't like the book, you don't obviously have to buy the physical copy. But yeah, I did buy this a while ago from W.H. Smith and just amazing, absolutely amazing. The plot in it is basically a girl who is in school. What's her name? I can't even remember. I can't clearly. Pip. So Pip is doing like an EPQ, which is like a report, and she is investigating Andy Bell, who was murdered 5 years ago, who was supposedly murdered by her boyfriend, and she deep dives to see whether that was true or not because everyone just believed it. And then she starts getting like threats and things start getting uncovered. Honestly, unbelievable. The next 5 books that I read are all part of the Betrothed series. Now, if you've watched the last couple of videos, I have mentioned this a few times. I finished book 5 last night, which was the 28th. So technically I'm filming this a little bit early because it's the 29th, but I want to get this on for the 31st. So happy 1st of August tomorrow, by the way. This series has tested me in so many ways. So the first book is Wife. I'll open them up and chat about them individually. So we've got Wife. I rated this 4 stars. This is by Penelope Sky. It's basically there's like 5 books on the couple, which is Hades and Sophia. It's a dark mafia romance. It does get really dark at some areas, which is what I really, really struggled with. I'm so sorry about Jessie barking if you can hear it in the background. By the way, there's work getting something done to the wires and she won't stop barking. So it's, I don't know, like I really enjoyed the beginning. And then it just kind of spans out. It's just basically like them, the things that they go through. There's crime in there, there's murder, there is rape. So definitely have a look at the trigger warnings to see whether it's something that you don't mind. Obviously there's drugs, there's trafficking, like human trafficking, I think that's what it's classed as. So there's quite a lot going on. Like it's quite an intense book, but it's basically, I'm not spoiling anything, but the main character Hades goes to get his fortune told, and she basically says like, for all the crimes that you committed, you'll love one woman but she'll never love you back, which is obviously Sophia. So the whole 4 books is basically their whole romance, the turmoil they go through, everything that happens with them and the people around them. Husbands, I did rate that 4 stars as well, which is the 2nd book in the series. Then we move on to Lover. I rated this 5 stars because if you watched my like 6-month mid-year wrap up, which I will link so you can go and have a look, this book, I was sobbing. And I mean, I couldn't stop crying for about 2 chapters to the point that I had to put the book down and was like, I need a breather because this is just too much for me to handle right now. But it was so beautifully written. It was so emotional. And I was like, wow, like I read this book within a day. Unbelievable. And they're quite short-ish books, like they're like 300 pages. Like I think this one now was like 317, the 6th book. So if you can read quick and you have the time, you're happy to commit, you can read it in a day. Do you know what I mean? It is a 10-book series, which is what is draining the life out of me, but we will get through it. I'm determined to finish the series now because I've heard the last 3 are the best out of the series. So hopefully save the best till last. That's what I'm praying for. So I really, really did enjoy the 3rd book. Like it was just emotionally invoking. Then we get to the 4th book. Now, I would rate this like a 2.5, 3 stars. I did give it 3 stars in Goodreads. There was a certain point in this book that I genuinely, I read a chapter and put it down and was like, if this continues the way it's going between Hades and the enemy, I'm not reading anymore. Like, I'm DNFing it and I'm walking away. Like, I am not putting myself through this. Like, I hope if you do read it, you'll know the point that I'm on about. But I swear to God, the writing part of it annoyed me. Not the writing, because I like Penelope's writing, but the way that there was some things that was said that just did not need to be written. And I was just like, please stop. Like, please stop, because I cannot take this on. So, yeah. No, that was a massive struggle for me. I did enjoy the ending. Like, once you get through, like, the 60% mark, it's enjoyable. But that whole, I think it was like, I don't know if it was like 30-40%, I was honestly going to throw the book out the window. I was like, well, not the book, obviously my Kindle, and I wouldn't do that to my Kindle. But it was absolutely burning me head. Also, This was a big struggle for me to get through. I'm glad I got through it. I'm glad I seen the other side. I'm glad I didn't DNF it. But for that whole emotional turmoil of me genuinely sitting down and going, I'm not carrying on. If this carries on, I'm done, was enough for me to be like, I can't rate this high. Which in a way, the writing was so good because it emotionally made me feel them ways. Like, I think Penelope is amazing for getting you to feel the way she wants you to feel. Like, she's really like emotionally invoking through her writing, which is phenomenal for a writer, but sometimes it's too much. Sometimes I cannot do that. So that was the 4th book, Committed. And then, as I said, I've just finished book 5, which, to be honest, how long did this take me? Quite a while, I think, you know. Yeah, I started reading it on the 15th of July and I finished it on the 28th. That's how long it took me to get through. You notice the pattern, like, I read Wife within, what was that, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I read Wife in 5 days. I read Husband in a day. I read Lover on the day. And then Committed, which is the one I didn't really enjoy, that took me 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, a week. And then that took me 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 28, 13 days. It took me 2 weeks just to get through first. And I actually really enjoyed first. Not actually really that bad happened. And I did end up rating it at 4 stars. So this changes now to Hazy's best friend Damien and Annabella. So the ending annoyed me slightly. But then obviously that's why there's more books on like this couple, because I'm imagining it's going to be 6 and 7 is about them. I did enjoy it. I love Damien. I think Damien's absolutely lovely. And there's a part with it, again, I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's a part in it with Damien and Hades, which was absolutely beautiful. And I really loved that. And that made me like tear up slightly. So that was amazing. Their love story, I'm really enjoying. I think Annabella's a really spicy character. Like, she's really fierce. She's confident and sexy. And I love that. And Sophia's the same. I love the women in it. They're so confident in themselves, which is beautiful to see. Really empowering. I love that. And the men, like, I do enjoy the male characters in it. They're a bit pissy, like a bit grumpy, like, which is fine. Obviously, I'm assuming that comes with the job title. But yeah, I did give that 4 star. It weren't that it was bad. I just kind of, after the 4th book, I kind of just don't enjoy the series. And in a way, I'm like, do I quit on it and call it a day? But I'm really committed. Like, I did actually want to finish this series this month because I could have done it. Like, it shouldn't have took me that long to finish either one of them books. They were both quite short. I could have got through them, but it was just like, I didn't want to. But I think I read like over an hour last night and was able to finish it. And I think I was on like 50%. So again, it is possible for me to read them a lot quicker. I'm just being lazy with them. But that is all the books for July. So if you didn't see, I did do an August TBR where I had a jar. Please go and watch that video because it will be enlightening to see what I have got to read this month. It's a lot of paperbacks, which I'm actually really excited for. I'm going to try and read the Betrothed series at the same time. Let's see how that goes. But that is a big goal for me and I really want to try and get through as much as my TBR as possible. And the books are really, really good. So again, please go and check out that video if you haven't already. Please hit the subscribe button. We're nearly at 1,000. We're in like breathing distance and I'm so excited to hit 1,000. It's a massive milestone for me. So make sure that you do that for me and I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And yeah, hope to see you next video. But for now, bye.